are now recording. So welcome everyone, glad you could join me for the Friday class. So it's Friday, and we'll keep that in mind. A kinder, gentler practice. And we'll start by just settling down. So notice the feet or the legs on the mat. Notice the sitting bones. Feel connected to the earth here. And then soften the face, relax the jaw, let the shoulders release down. And relax the hips and the legs, the feet and the toes, the arms and the hands. Soft focus, or you can close your eyes. Just notice the flow of the breath. Just notice if it's ragged or if it's even. Notice if the inhale is longer than the exhale or vice versa. Noticing sensations in the body, good or bad. No judgment. And remember, as we practice, there's no pain in yoga. So if something hurts you, don't do that. You can rest whenever you want. And you can make it your practice. If I take you somewhere and you want to go somewhere else, then just do that. And now let the breath lengthen, the inhale and the exhale. And that little tightness in the throat that gives you that warrior, that ocean breath. And rolling the inhale from the belly to the middle chest into the upper chest. And now take a deep inhale in, fill the lungs, feel the body expand front and back and side to side. Open the mouth and let it go. And one more deep breath. And exhale. And opening the eyes if they were closed and coming to that upright seat. Bring the shoulders back over the hips. Top of the head reaches. Ah, yes. Just take a couple of breaths in this upright seat. So let's all come down to our backs. Let's start on our backs today. So just coming down. And if you want something under the back of your head, that's fine. Or if you want to support your knees, something underneath the knees, you can do that as well. Bring the feet all the way into the hips. And we'll start today with some hip rocks. So with the feet are flat on the floor, knees straight up toward the ceiling, hands down by your side, palms down. As you exhale, press the low back down into the mat. And the hips rock up toward the ceiling, but don't lift off the floor. And as you inhale, just lift the belly up gently toward the ceiling. Exhaling, pressing the low back into the mat. And inhaling, belly lifts to the ceiling or toward the ceiling. Just exhaling and inhaling. And one more round, exhaling and inhaling. And coming back to that neutral spine, just bring the arms up and over behind you. And bring the backs of the hands down to the floor. And you probably will feel this in the shoulders right away. And you don't have to have, the arms are not rigid here. Just let the hands rest on the back, on the floor behind you. And don't forget to breathe, keep the neck relaxed. Now, many of you probably don't feel anything doing this, but with my tight shoulders, I feel it. And now bring the elbows down 90 degrees out from the body. So you're in cactus arms lying on the floor. And just try and relax now and let those arms settle into the floor. One more breath. Good. All right. Release the hands down beside you. And the feet are all the way into the hips. So let's just do a couple of gentle bridges. Make these really gentle. Just press into the mat with the feet and roll the hips gently up toward the ceiling. And exhaling, bring the hips down. Real gentle here. Inhaling, the hips lift. And exhale, they lower. And one more. Lifting the hips. And exhaling down. Good. Extend the legs and reach the right arm behind you. And we're going to stretch the right side. So flex the right foot and press out through the right heel, but reach through the right fingers. Stretch long. And then exhaling, release. And you can bring the right hand down or leave it behind you. Extend the left hand or left arm behind you. And now flex the left foot. Inhaling, stretch the left side. And exhaling, release. Good. Walk your feet off the mat to the right and cross the left ankle over the right. Hip bones stay on the mat. And now bring the arms up behind you and grasp the left wrist with the right hand and come into a gentle banana. Make it a gentle banana. Just gently tugging on that left wrist. And now release the wrist, bring the feet back to center, take the feet to the left, cross the right ankle over the left, and then take a hold of your right wrist and banana to the left. And then release, bring the feet back to center, and the hands come back down to the mat. Bring both feet all the way into the hips. And the knees again are straight up. Arms go wide now, palms down. And we'll just do a couple of gentle twists here. The feet are hip width apart. So let the knees fall over to the right. Take your gaze to the left. And the knees back to the ceiling. Let the knees come to the left and gaze right. And bring the knees back up to the ceiling. Bring the hands back in. And you can leave the left foot on the floor or extend the left leg. Bring the right knee into the chest. Yeah, and circle those toes. And take the circles the other way. And then draw the knee up and to the right, toward the right shoulder. Bring the knee back up to the ceiling, and now let the knee drop over to the left, coming onto the left hip. And you can bring your left hand to the outside of that right thigh. Now relax the hips, and if you want, you can straighten that right leg, although if that, you don't really need to do that, but that'll give you just a bit more sensation. So breathe into the hips. And the right knee back to the ceiling. And bring the foot down to the mat. You can extend the right leg or leave that foot on the floor. And bring the left knee into the chest. Circle the toes. And then draw that knee toward the left shoulder. Releasing that knee back up to the ceiling, just let the left knee cross over the right leg, come onto the right hip. And you can bring the right hand to the outside of that knee. And experiment here to find the sensation that feels okay for you today. And of course, the shoulder blades stay on the mat. And bring that left knee back up to the ceiling and the left foot down. Extend both legs and bring both arms behind you. And as you inhale deeply, take a big stretch here, both arms and both legs. And exhale and bring the hands back down beside you, palms up. Let the toes splay out to the sides. Just take a breath or two right here. Now bring both knees into the chest. And you can gently rock side to side. Just moving here. Circle the knees, whatever feels good. Knees can be close together, the knees can be wide. And then bring the legs together and bring both feet straight up to the ceiling. Feet are flexed, spread the toes. Now leave the left foot up there at the ceiling and lower the right leg down. And then point the toes, lift the right leg back up. Flex the right foot, lower the right leg. Point the toes and lift it back up. And that right knee can be bent. Flex that right foot and lower. And then point the toes and lift it back up. Flex both feet, take a breath. And now flex the left foot, lower that leg, point the toes, lift it back, flex the foot and lower, point the toes and lift it back, flex and lower, and point the toes and bring it back up. Flex both feet, take a breath. And bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together, the knees wide, palms to the ceiling, and breathe. Bring the knees up to the ceiling. Bring both knees in toward the chest. Bring the hands behind the knees and just gently rock. And as you rock up, come up to seated. As you rock back, just to the shoulder blades, not to the back of the head. And a couple of these, 3 or 4. And the next time you come up, come to the balance. Yeah, knees bent. One more breath. Good, all right. And now we're up to seated. That's great. And I'm going to get myself on the block here. And however you want to sit comfortably, I'm going to move into a cross-legged seat. And now lift up tall and breathe. Good. Bring the shoulders up toward the ears and then take the shoulders back and down and then rotate them forward and up and back and down and forward and up. And then take the rotations the other way. One more circle. Good. And then come back up to that upright seat. Turn the heart toward the right knee and gently come over the right knee, the right leg. And inhale up. And now turn the chest or the heart toward the left leg, coming over the left leg. And inhaling up. Now lift up tall, take the chest, heart toward the top of the mat and come down. Gently release the head toward the mat. Let the hands just rest on the mat. And now round up to that upright seat. And bring the left hand to the outside of the right leg, lift up tall and twist now to the right. And coming to center, that twist to the left. And coming to center, let's come back to the right. And then center and left. And back to center. So bring out the right leg and support it behind the knee, pressing out through the heel. Circle the toes. And the other way. And point and flex, and point and flex, and point and flex. Bring that foot across, support the knee with the right arm. The right foot is flexed. And extend the leg. And then draw that foot out to the right. Staying tall here. And bring it to center. And the left hand takes that foot to the left, extending the right hand if you choose, gazing toward the right hand. And coming back to center. Strong through the leg as you lift it a little higher. And then release, pressing out through the heel. Scrunch the toes, spread the toes. And bring the right foot down. Bring out the left leg. Support behind the knee and circle the toes. And go the other way. And point and flex, and point and flex, and point and flex. And now bring the foot across, rock the baby. And extend the leg with the hand or a strap. And take the foot out to the left. And the bend in the knee. And then center and take the foot to the right, gazing toward the extended left hand. And coming back to center, strong through the leg as you lift. And then release, pressing out, scrunch the toes, flex the toes. And then bring the left foot down. And come on over onto all fours. Finding that table. Curls, or the toes can be curled under, or if more comfortable with the tops of the feet on the mat, that's fine. And we'll do some moving cat-cows. So as you exhale, let the head move, drop toward the mat, and move the hips back toward the heels. And inhaling, the elbows come down. And as you lift up, the gaze moves out ahead, exhaling, rounding, and hips move back. And inhaling forward and up. And exhaling, hips toward the heels. 2 more. Inhaling and exhaling. And coming back up to that upright or that table with the fingers spread, fingers gripping the mat. Feel the palms of the hands on the mat. Inhale, and as you exhale, turn the gaze past the right shoulder, bringing the weight onto the left knee, gazing toward the back of the mat. Inhaling, come center. Exhaling, gazing to the left. Coming to center, exhale, gaze right. And front toward the front, and then exhale left. And coming back to center. Extend the right leg with the toes down and just gently let the hips release as you press back through the heel. And lift that foot hip height, extending the left hand, left arm out ahead, awkward pose. Bring the left hand down, take the foot out to the right, slide it forward, flatten the foot. Keep a little bend in the knee as you gently move the hips toward the back of the mat. And coming forward, bring the right foot back hip height. Sacrum is flat as you're pressing back. And bring the right knee down and take a breath. Extend the left leg, toes on the mat. Bring the left foot hip height, extending the right arm, awkward pose. Strong here through the heel. And bring the right hand down and take that foot out to the left, slide it forward. Being gentle here, move the hips toward the back of the mat. And coming forward, bring that foot back, hip height. And exhaling that knee back down to the mat and take a breath. Now from your table, just curl the toes and press the hips up to the ceiling into downward dog. Working the heels toward the mat one at a time. And gently move the head to keep the neck relaxed. And step the feet toward the hands. And as you inhale, come to half lift. On your next exhale, bend the knees, forward fold. And the top of the head toward the mat. Again, one heel and the other heel into the mat. So bend the knees now, press into the mat with the feet coming up. Shoulders back, hands lift. And exhale into mountain pose. Yeah, good. Let's do Susie's flow this morning. So step back into a short warrior one posture, or with the feet on in two lanes for the feet. So good balance here. And then a little bend in that front knee. And then go ahead and bring the arms up toward the ceiling. Back leg is strong and straight. Left knee is bent. And now as you exhale, you straighten the front leg, bend the back knee, let the head come down toward the mat, hands lift to the ceiling. And as you inhale, straighten the back leg, bend the front knee, hands lift, gaze lifts. And exhaling, straighten the front leg, bend the back knee. Inhaling, coming back up. Exhaling one more time. And inhaling forward and up. And bring the hands in prayer to the heart. Onto the back toes, stepping forward. Good. Good way to start the day with that gentle flow. Now step back with the left foot and find the stance that works comfortably for you with the hips facing the top of the mat. And then bend the right knee, strong through the back leg, and the hands to the ceiling. And as you exhale, bend the back knee, straighten the front leg, hands lift, head drops. Inhaling, coming back up. Exhaling. And inhaling, strong through the arms and fingers. And one more time, exhaling. And inhaling. And the hands in prayer to the heart. And onto the back toes, stepping forward. Ah, yes. Let's go to a wide stance here. Whichever direction faces the computer, I guess. And press the heels out. And we'll do a wide-legged forward fold. So bring the hands to the hips, elbows to the rear. Exhale as you do the forward bend with a slight bend in your knees, and bring the hands down wherever you'd like. And then walk the hands over toward the right foot. And you can do the bind by bringing the left hand above the ankle and bringing the right hand behind to grab the wrist. And release the bind on that side. Bring the hands to center. Take a breath. Exhale down to the forward fold. And then come over to the left side, left foot, right hand above the ankle, left hand behind. And release the bind on that side. Bring the hands under the face and walk the hands away into that wide-legged down dog. Pressing the heels out. And now walk the hands back under the face. Release down to the fold. Lifting the head, come onto fingertips. Bring the hands to the hips, elbows to the ceiling. and then press into the hips with the thumbs as you come up. Exhale, take the gaze toward the ceiling, gentle back bend. And inhaling up. Good. Turn the toes toward the top of the mat, and the left toes turn in. And now bend that knee toward the top of the mat. So we're coming into a warrior two. So extend the arms. And the gaze comes to the middle finger. In my case, it's the left hand. And as you inhale, straighten that front leg, take the hands up toward the ceiling. And as you exhale, come down to that warrior two. Inhaling, reaching to the ceiling, exhaling, warrior two. Keeping that knee well out to the side, inhaling up, exhaling, warrior two. And one more time, inhaling and exhaling. Let the shoulders release. Take one more deep breath right here. And straighten the leg, bring the hands to the hips, turn the toes to the side, actually to the front now, I guess. And then now we'll do that to the other side. So in my case, the right toes toward the back of the mat, left toes turn in. I'm bending my right knee, coming to that warrior two. Keeping my right knee well out toward the edge of the mat. Strong through the back leg. And now inhaling, palms up, straightening the leg. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lift. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lift. Back to warrior two. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale down. Warrior two. Straightening the leg, bring the hands to the hips, toes to the front. Yeah, all good. And now turn the toes toward the top of the mat and come up on the back toes and step to the top of the mat. Good. We'll work our tree pose. So bring the weight to the left foot and then turn the right toes out. And find your spot. Bring the foot where you want it to be and breathe. And bring the knee to the front and down. And kind of release here a bit. And then bring the weight over onto the right foot. And turn the left toes to the outside. Bring the left foot where you want it to be into your tree. And the knee to the front and down. Good, all right. So let's come down to the mat and do some more work, and we'll do a little bit of stretching on our belly. So finding your mountain pose, inhale the arms up, and then Bring the arms wide, diving into this forward fold. Ah, yes, let the head release. And now press both heels gently down toward or into the mat, lifting the hips up toward the ceiling. Feel the belly on the thighs. Inhale, half lift. Now press the belly toward the toes. And exhale, hands come to the mat, coming back into our plank. Knees can be down on the mat. And keeping the elbows in toward the center of the mat, exhale down. And release the toes, the tops of the toes on the mat. Inhale into cobra, just lifting the head and the upper chest. And you don't need to go high. Feel the kneecaps lifted off the mat as you press the toes down into the mat. And now release the chin down onto the mat. Extend your arms out to the side. Bring the left hand under the left shoulder. Now gently come onto your right hip. Until you find that sensation in the right arm and the right shoulder. You can lift the left leg and extend it behind you if you choose. And then come back over onto your belly and just take that arm up at about a 45-degree angle. Be gentle when you do it. Again, on this, with the hand toward the top of the mat a little bit, and gently, again, moving to sensation, not pain. And coming back over. Go ahead and bring the right hand in, extending the left hand straight out to the side. And now gently move onto the left hip, lifting the right leg. And coming back over, just gently move the left hand at about a 45-degree angle and gently come onto the left hip again. And coming back over, bring the left hand in and bring the elbows up under the shoulders. We'll come into a gentle sphinx. Just relax here. And just lifting the head to gaze straight ahead. Bring the right arm across. Again, roll now onto the right hip. And bend that top knee, find the toe, and extend to the ceiling with the left foot. And release the toe, bring the left hand down, keep that foot lifted, strong through the heel, and slowly lower the left leg down, point the toes, inhale it back up, exhale, lower, inhale, lift, and exhale, lower, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. And now come back over into your gentle Sphinx. Bring the left arm under the face, coming onto the left hip, and bend the right knee. Find the toe, extending the right foot to the ceiling. And release the toe. Bring the right hand down to the mat and slowly lower the right leg down. Point the toes and lift it back up. Flex and lower. And point and lift. And flex and lower. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. And coming back over to Sphinx. Take the breath. And now with the tops of the feet on the mat and the toes are touching, press the knees into the mat and just lift the hips up off the mat. And if you choose, you can curl the toes and press back through the heels and the knees lift. Now the gaze is straight down to the mat. One more deep breath. Bring the knees down and bring the hips down and take the elbows to the outside and the right side of the face to the mat. Turn the heels out. The left side of the face. And bring the chin to the mat. Bring the hands down, just out from the sides of the body, to palms down. And we're coming into locust, just lifting everything for 2 deep breaths. One more breath. And exhale everything down. Take the right side of the face to the mat, palms up. And the left side of the face to the mat. Bring the hands under the shoulders and just gently lift back up into table. And a couple more gentle side bends here, keeping the gaze straight down between the hands. Just take the hips and the ribs out to the right, bring the weight onto the right knee. And now come to center and take everything over to the left side. And to center and moving the hips right. and center and left. And coming back to center. So bring the feet around to the front into a seated posture with the legs out. And we'll just move into a seated forward fold. So a little bend in those knees with the toes flexed and kind of pointed back toward the face, and take the heart toward the toes and then release down toward those bent knees. And move the heels for whatever sensation you want today. And inhaling, come up. And 2 more forward bends here. Just bring your right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Lift up tall. And you can fold over the straight leg or between the knees, whatever works best for you. And inhaling up. Extend the right leg, bring the left foot to the inside. Coming tall and fold. And inhaling, come up. Extending the left leg. Bring the hands behind the knees and gently come down to your back. And bring both knees into the chest and just rock side to side. And the feet come down to the mat, extend the legs long and bring the arms behind. And as you inhale, we'll do a full body stretch, pressing out through the heels and reaching through the fingers. Deep inhale. And exhaling, come into your Savasana, whatever works best for you. Finding relaxation. Just softening into the mat. And wiggle the toes, flex the fingers, roll the wrists, bend the knees and elbows. And when you're ready, you can roll to one side and come up to seated. Thank you for practicing with me today, and namaste.
Namaste.
Yeah.